Hey, Shawn Clement here. I usually have Connor O'Shea right next to me, and he's, the bubbly, young, energetic guy. I could really use Connor right now because I'm on the tail end of a cold. My energy levels are a little low. But I assure you that we have an amazing show for you today, as one of the questions that was sent in was about wrist hinge. And it was about, well, where do you hinge your wrists and how do you hinge your wrists and all that stuff. So I will dispel the myths of that wrist set right now for you today. I'm going to start with a question that was asked to Mr. Ernie Els by the media when he was 19 years old, and he burst out on the scene and he was the next new phenom. And he was asked, Ernie, when you look down at the ball, what are you thinking about? And he pauses for a second, then he gets upset. And he says, what do you want me to think about? There's the ball, there's a target, hit the ball to the target. Next question. Well, the same question was asked 5 years later when he was being coached by David Ledbetter. And he said, well, I am trying to resist with my lower body and coil my upper body against my lower body. The problem with that is that my arms keep coming behind me, and I'm having a hard time setting my wrists. So we're working on a drill right now where I'm setting my wrists a little earlier so my arms don't get stuck behind me. All right, that's when I said to my friends at the time, we were looking at this little report, and I said, well, you're not going to see Ernie for a while. And he had a little lull for a couple of years, and then he finally came back once he figured things out. So there's so much in the golf industry today. So if we were to look at Ernie's situation, that compensation number one, resist with the legs. He never had to do that beforehand. Number two, because he's resisting in the legs, he runs into another issue. Now he's got to compensate with an early wrist set. Don't need to do that in the first place, okay? So the anatomy of your arms. You notice if I swing back here, take a page out of Bubba Watson. As he goes back, you'll notice he makes a big turn and his arms stay very wide. Well, the reason why he's not hinging yet is there's no need to yet. Now, at this point, that trailing arm is going to have to fold. I can't go any further. So the trailing arm folds. Notice wonderful rotation of my forearms. And then my wrists are going to hinge. You can try it right now in your living room. Make a fist palm up. Extend it palm up. You'll feel lots of tension here. Go palm down. You'll feel the tension dissipate. Fold it palm down. You'll feel tension in the forearm. Rotate up. No more tension. So the anatomy is designed to rotate. Okay? So number one, as soon as your right arm folds, the anatomy of the arms are going to rotate properly. And then set. You'll feel that the wrists are going to want to set all by themselves right here. And they set on what we call the anatomical snuff box. So you'll see right here, this is called the anatomical snuff box, that little cavity above the thumb. That's where your wrists set. So you'll notice if I'm throwing a football, this is how I would throw it. If I throw it underhand, see the nice set, and then it's going to release and rotate. If I'm going fishing, same thing. I'm going fishing, I can go fishing underhand or I can go fishing overhand. There's the same set of the wrist. If I'm hammering a nail, same thing. So when I hold my club, you'll notice how both my snuff boxes are set right there on top of the grip. So notice how they're hinging together and unhinging together. So you notice as I swing back and through, there's the set, release, reset, release, set, release, reset. So notice there's nothing coming apart in my grip as I'm doing that, okay? So, nice full turn right out of the gate in the backswing. Let the right arm fold, let the wrists hinge, and you'll notice from here to there, that's basically where your wrists are going to hinge, about horizontal to the ground. Now, here's a really nice drill that's going to help you understand the release of the wrists. So, hold the club like you're holding a sword. Let the sword release in both directions. So imagine you had a bamboo shoot here, slash the sword through. You're going to feel right away an immediate need to let the wrist hinge, because you can't force the sword through there. You can't shove it. You would never go fishing like this. You allow the fishing pole to set the wrists, and then you allow, you're looking for the feel of the lure, and you know exactly when to release that lure to the target. So I want you to feel that you can cut through that dandelion stem or that bamboo shoot in both directions. So you notice there's the cut. See how it rehinged on the other side? And then now I'm ready to cut in the other direction. So feel a nice release in both directions. Do that with the left hand. See how it releases on and rehinges on the left side? Release and hinge. See where the face of my watch is facing up? Release and hinge. Now the face of my watch is facing away from you. It's not this. You're not collapsing or cupping or, the wrist on this side. You're allowing for that full rotation. So now when you take the club with both hands and you just allow the arms to swing in both directions. Don't let your left arm hit you going back. Don't let your right arm hit you coming through. Let it release. Let it release. So if you let the arms fall, notice how it's still set. Handle comes through first, releases and rehinges. So you notice you'll feel exactly where the wrists want to hinge on their own as you swing back and through. So a nice little drill here that you can do. I got my 3 dandelions right here, and I'm just going to let gravity cut through. So I'm letting gravity cut through the stems of those dandelions, and you'll notice I'm not thinking about where my wrists are hinging. I'm allowing the weight of the club to do that for me. I'm allowing the anatomy folding and unfolding to do that for me. I just need you to be aware of when that happens, and that will answer the question for you, okay? Hope you enjoyed that. See you in the next episode, hopefully with Mr. Connor. All right, Connor, all the best.